I am very excited today to be in a point where we are not going to just talk about these issues, but we are going to act on these issues, and we're going to provide real relief for the overall U.S. economy and for the people I represent and have the honor to represent. Hi, this is Congressman Joe Courtney. I'm speaking to you right outside the hall of the U.S. House of Representatives on Friday, August 12th. In a few minutes, we're going to begin the process of passing the Inflation Reduction Act and send it to the White House for final signature. This is a solid bill which will reduce inflation in a number of ways. Number one, it will reduce the federal budget deficit. That's been scored by the Congressional Budget Office, and that helps, again, reduce the borrowing pressure that the federal government can put on financial markets. Number two, it will reduce the cost of prescription drugs for seniors on Medicare. Prescription drugs price increases far exceed inflation year in and year out. And for the first time, we are actually going to see the bargaining power of the federal government be used to reduce the cost of prescription drugs, just like the federal government has been doing for decades in the veterans' healthcare system. It will also reduce the cost of energy by investing in new renewable energies, both in terms of consumers who own homes or new construction. It will also, again, expand exploration of energy in the U.S., which again will increase supply and help reduce the cost of energy, which again people are still struggling with. This bill will have a direct benefit and impact in Eastern Connecticut. Among the investments in terms of climate change and renewable energy, Eastern Connecticut farms will benefit by the new growth and investments in the Environmental Quality Investment Program, Incentive Program, EQIP, which again, farms all across Eastern Connecticut use that program as a way to reduce their overhead and input costs. The only problem with that program is it's always been oversubscribed. This bill will expand that program and allow more farms in Eastern Connecticut to participate in that program, as well as the Climate Smart program, which is again a way of investing in new emerging farmers and food production in Eastern Connecticut. It will also grow jobs in our district because of the investment tax credits, which will stabilize and keep a steady stream of support and incentives for offshore wind. Again, New London is now going to be one of the hubs of offshore wind production in the entire country, in the entire U.S. It will also extend the investment tax credits and production tax credits for solar, both in terms of residential solar as well as commercial solar. Again, we have some great companies in Eastern Connecticut like Earthlight up near where I live in Ellington, Connecticut, again, that are growing like crazy because of, again, the opportunities which these tax credits give to homeowners and commercial businesses, small businesses, to reduce their energy bills by using, again, really good technology. It's going to help bring in new jobs to our country by insourcing production of solar panels, which far too much of that was outsourced to China. This bill will bring that technology and those jobs back to the U.S. Again, as I said, it is going to cut the federal budget deficit because we have restored some measure of fairness in terms of the federal tax code to make sure that large corporations who report profits over $1 billion a year will pay at least a minimum tax that's still below the corporate tax at 21%. And again, they've run the numbers, and this is something that, again, we know will work financially. I want to talk for a second about the prescription drug benefit, because this is something that, my entire time in office has been a chronic problem. We have constantly gotten phone calls from seniors, some who are on insulin, some who, again, are part of the Medicare Part D program. But because, again, of the holes and the gaps, even in that program in Medicare, seniors have had to choose between food and drugs, between cutting pills or being able to follow their doctor's instructions. By, again, finally having the federal government negotiate lower prices for the Medicare prescription drug programs, we will cap out-of-pocket costs for seniors on Medicare at $2,000 per year. Today, if people hit the catastrophic level of prescription drugs, that number can be in the tens of thousands. We are finally, once and for all, bringing that cost down, and also because we are being a smart customer for the purchase of prescription drugs, we are strengthening the finances of the Medicare program, the Medicare Trust Fund, so that, again, its solvency will be pushed out for years to come. That makes sure that young people and working age people are going to benefit from the Medicare program, which today is facing a cliff in the near future. Again, this is just smart buying. This is smart purchasing by the federal government that will, again, strengthen Medicare and help seniors and people on disabilities. Again, there were many, and myself included, who were skeptical we were ever going to get to this point today where we could finally break through the logjam and get this bill done, but we're about to do it. And again, for the first time in decades, we're going to fix the Medicare program to make sure that life-saving drugs are going to be affordable and available for people who pay their premiums and paid into the system for many years to come. Again, our office has lots of specific information. If people have more questions about the Inflation Reduction Act, please email our office, call our office. We have a ton of material which we can provide and supply for you. And again, I am very excited today to be in a point where we are not going to just talk about these issues, but we are going to act on these issues. And we're going to provide real relief for the overall U.S. economy and for the people I represent and have the honor to represent. Thank you for listening. And again, please contact our office if you have more questions.